So I wanted to provide my honest first impression about Runway Gen-3 Alpha. And the reason why is I feel like ever since Sora came out, there's more and more hype videos where people will talk about how everything is a game changer, this changes everything, that kind of hype. And just to be absolutely clear, the quality that Gen 3 Alpha is capable of is amazing. It's doing some things I've never seen done before. But I think it's important to balance that potential with what it's actually like when you're using it as a paid customer. And here's what I mean by that. I think that the thing that is a game changer the most about Gen 3 Alpha is the pricing of it. Because we're starting to get to the point where if you want professional looking video, you're going to have to start paying professional prices. So for a long time, people have complained it's too expensive to do generative AI. It's getting more expensive now. Here's a good example of it. So Gen 2 uses 5 credits per second of video. Gen 3 Alpha uses 10 credits per second of video generated. So let's say you're on the standard plan and you're doing, $12 a month, or you're going monthly, so you're doing $15 a month. All of those cool videos that you've seen, to generate one 10-second clip is 100 credits. And I'm on the standard plan, which is $12 a month for 625 credits. So for that $12, I can type in 6 prompts and get 6 videos. I'm not going to get 6 videos that look exactly like the amazing stuff that you've seen on Twitter and other places. I'm going to get whatever 6 clips it decides to show me. So when you go to generate a video, we've got the prompt, we've got some settings, and we've got custom presets. I'm not going to get into custom presets, but this is where you do the prompt. Now, you may be saying, hey, where's the camera control? Where's the motion brush? That's still available here in Gen 2. So you don't get all of this stuff that you used to be able to do, where you could move the camera around or pan it, or motion brush, where you could identify what you wanted to move and which way you wanted it to move. All of this is gone currently in Gen 3. And what they have instead is this guide. Even if you're not using Gen 3 Alpha, this is an amazing prompt guide. They do nice little animated GIFs so you can really get an idea of what it does. Like there was this one, I never knew what this was called, but this Snorri cam, where the camera is basically mounted in front of the person following them. So there's little things that you can pick up from this prompt guide. This is amazing. There's going to be a link in the description. It's worth checking out, even if you're not using Runway. Some of it might not work the same way if you're not using Runway, but it's just helpful to know. So we give up all of that camera control, and instead we're going to use prompting to do all of those camera angles and let the AI figure out what it should look like. I really like this approach a lot, but the one thing I don't like about it is that I do think you lose some control doing it this way. And let me show you what I mean. With Gen 2, you were able to upload an image, and then you could add all of the camera controls that you wanted and all of the motion brush things that you wanted to do. And you had a lot of control. So you could generate something in Midjourney and create a story with it. With Gen 3 Alpha, you're stuck with the words that you want to use and using that guide, but you're not starting with an image ever. You're always doing text to video, at least for now. So that's something to be aware of. The other thing you'll notice in the settings here is that the resolution is 720p. I think this used to be considered high definition like 15 years ago. So it's not as high resolution. I know people like to upscale and have all of their favorite upscalers, but it's not the same resolution as a Gen 2 clip where you can actually say, I want it to be 2K. So there's that. So I think if you work with this prompt guide, you can come up with some really amazing videos. The problem is it requires a lot of iteration. To me, that's always been the key to generative AI, is to generate and iterate. And so the problem with the pricing structure is that it costs so much to generate each clip, you lose the ability to iterate. So unless you're on one of the really high plans, you're not going to have that ability to iterate and play around. You're going to get, even if you do 5-second clips, you're only getting 12 5-second clips per month. The other thing I want to normalize is that we need to start posting our L's, as they say. So not every generation is going to be amazing and mind-blowing. I'm going to show you this one. This one is one that I used in Luma Dream Machine. It turned out pretty good there. This is not great. The level of quality and coherence that I expected to see from Gen 3 Alpha. I kind of was like, wait, let me just use one of their prompts. So this is the exact prompt from the prompting guide. This is like something that they're saying, this is great. This is a great version of a prompt. This is what I got. Now, I don't know about you, but like if I said Gen 3 Alpha game changer and I showed you this video, you probably wouldn't agree with me. The problem I have is that the pricing is too high because it won't let you experiment, and the number of usable videos that come out of it is too low. So it feels like you're paying a premium for a lot of rough drafts. It requires a lot of iteration, and iteration is starting to cost real money now. I said I was going to give you my honest review. Here's my review in a nutshell. As someone who's been using Runway since Gen 2 was in beta, actually prior to that, since they just had their different tools, I think it's amazing. I think this is like, I feel like the dream is coming true in terms of what is available in the hands of anyone. But the anyone has an asterisk next to it, and that anyone is anyone who can afford it. That gap between who can afford it and who can't afford it is getting a little bit wider. And I feel like every improvement in the quality is going to make it less affordable for people. And I know maybe that's not your thing you care about right now. I think we're starting to get out of the realm of the average user, the price that can be done by the average user. And we're starting to find a different audience. And I think of the impact that will have on who is allowed to tell stories, who's allowed to make these kinds of videos, who rises in this new world of AI video. So if you're using Gen 3 Alpha, have fun. When you post your clips, be sure you post the prompts that go with them to help everyone else. And hopefully this was helpful to you. This is just my first impression after having seen it like 24 hours ago. So my credits are going to reset tonight. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with my 12 clips. I also do interviews with AI creators and filmmakers. So if you like that sort of thing, be sure you subscribe and check those out. There's a playlist called How I Generate It on my channel. All right. So anyway, let me know what your first impression of Gen 3 Alpha is, and have fun generating and iterating.